March Madness is coming to an end. Did the experiment work, or is my channel doomed? We're going to talk about that. Decided to come here and take a walk along a levee system that I've never been to before, but it is near an active train bridge, and if the stars align, we may actually catch a train today. And I'm noticing something right there. A concrete support? If that's what it is? I truly don't know what that is. I don't know anything about this area other than we're in Luzerne County near Wilkes-Barre. But I'm thinking I may have to return to this area and... What the hell was that? Something just moved beneath my feet. Yeah, I may have to return and investigate that area right along the river. Now the main walkway is up on top, but it's super windy up there, so I opted to come down here and get a little break from the wind as we talk for a little bit. I think you guys are okay there. I have you sitting on a rock and I have my foot on the base of it. It's still pretty breezy down here. I don't want you to topple over and bump your head. But I'm not going to ramble on too long. I'm not going to draw this out longer than necessary, but there are a few things I do want to talk about regarding the March Madness experiment I did throughout the month of March. And here we are, just 2 days away from April. I figure this would be a good closure to wrap up what took place. Now, if you're not aware of what March Madness is or was, it's an experiment I decided to do on my channel because towards the end of mid to late summer 2025, my views started just trending downwards. And I realized there was a number of contributing factors causing that. Many of it was YouTube. I'm not going to say to blame, but with changes that they made. And not only affected me, but it affected lots of other channels. So I wasn't singled out, and I realized it wasn't me to blame for the drop in views, even though that's what was my initial thought was. But long story short, after doing research and talking to other creators and even viewers, I learned that certain people are getting notifications when my videos come out, others are not. The YouTube homepage layout is much different than it used to be from a number of months to even to a number of years ago. So recommended videos aren't the same. YouTube's recommending a lot of newer, smaller channels, and typically of content that doesn't interest me and others from what I've heard from feedback. So instead of relying on YouTube to fix the problem, I want to take matters into my own hands and do something within my control. And that's what I called March Madness. And what it consisted of was me not only upping the amount of videos that I was putting out per week, but also varying the types of content and styles of video that I would normally do. I basically wanted to shake things up, mix them up, and see how my channel would, I guess you could say, react, or to see what the outcome would be from a month-long experiment. And I knew it was a bit of a gamble. There's a good chance it would not work or even make things worse, but there was a small chance it could help. But I realized it's only for 1 month. So if things do go worse than what they already were, it's only for 1 month. But I had a game plan set in mind, and for the most part, I feel I accomplished that game plan. But what happened when that experiment started? Let's talk about that next. So my plan consisted of putting out a minimum of 4 videos per week, no more than 5, between Monday and Friday. And I think 3 out of 4 weeks, I did put out 4 videos. The final full week, I did put out 5. And I will say the initial week was a bit of a gamble and a bit confusing, because I think the first video I put out was the ice jam situation along the Susquehanna River. That video surprisingly did very well. I think it topped over 50,000 views in a short amount of time, and those are views I haven't received in a long time. So I contributed to, that was a trending topic. It was all over social media, and we're coming into the end of winter, early spring, and there's a topic that people were probably searching for, or that maybe just got recommended through the algorithm. So that video did surprisingly well. And then a few videos after that, they were kind of more what I've been getting, lower number of views. I did throw in a few different types of videos, such as the St. Patrick's Day Parade and a model train display at the Everhart Museum. And again, it was a bit surprising. The parade didn't do great, which I expected it not to. I know it's a limited audience that's gonna watch that, but I did get a lot of great feedback for doing something different. Where on the other hand, the model train display at Everhart Museum did surprisingly well, better than I was expecting. So the first week was kind of up and down. It was a roller coaster, to say the least. So the first week left me a little bit confused as to how the rest of the month was going to play out. Was it going to be like that the entire month? Was that just a couple one-off instances where the views were higher on certain videos? I wouldn't know that until I continue to put out more videos. And I will say, prior to the drop last summer, on average, with exceptions, I would get anywhere between 30,000 to over 100,000 views on most videos. Like I said, some do better than others, some do worse than others. That's expected. But ever since that drop, and it's really windy here, ever since that drop though, I was averaging less than 10,000 views, even closer to 5,000 views on most videos. Far and few between did anything top 10 to 20,000. So that's where this experiment came to mind. It's like, this is not sustainable. The amount of effort I put into my videos is not worth what I'm doing for very few people to see it. And I knew it wasn't people not wanting to watch it, it's just people weren't aware of what I was putting out. I'm gonna keep listening while we're in this area because there's supposed to be an approaching train coming from the north heading south. And it'd be nice to catch it as we're here. So after that first week, I knew, regardless of what the results are gonna be, I needed to complete this goal and see it out till the end. So I continued to film, edit, and pump out the videos. And I did a little bit of everything. I did a couple e-bike or e-scooter reviews. I did an abandoned exploration. I did a Google Finds video. I did, oh, you guys are ready to fall. Let me, okay, got you guys secured with the rock now. I put out a wide variety of stuff. And that was my whole plan, is just to mix it up a bit, throw out some things that people are used to seeing, but also some things that you even haven't seen in a while or never seen on my channel. So that was my whole game plan. I had a list made out for week to week, what I was gonna do. And I had to also play according to the weather with Mother Nature. So some days I filmed multiple videos in a day. Others I was able to do one. Others I just had to risk the weather conditions and hope that it was gonna play out in my favor. So as we progressed towards the middle end of March here, I noticed things were trending upwards. More videos than not only were getting terrific feedback about the topics I was covering, but also the views were reflecting the feedback. I'm just trying to remember offhand because I didn't really look at it before coming to do this video, but the abandoned hospital video I did got, I think, well over 30,000 views. As I said, the Ice Jam got over 50,000 views. I did a video of Glenn and Noko talking about things that people don't know exist. That did really, really well. I think over 60,000 views. And a few others that have done well over 10,000 views. And if they're just around 10, they have a lot of likes. So that tells me that there's still an audience for my content and for me as a content creator. That is great feedback. That's what I was looking to find out, is do people still want to watch what I put out? Do they enjoy what I put out? And if so, should I continue in the direction I'm going? And by the end of March here, I could say that the experiment was a huge success. I anticipated things to go in the right direction, but they actually exceeded my expectations. Obviously, every video didn't do fantastic. There's still a few that didn't do great. Typically the e-products, the reviews, that's a given. I don't expect those to ever do well. I just do those because I enjoy reviewing their products and using those products in my videos. But with a few exceptions, I would say more than 3/4 of my videos have performed better than expected, or at least better than they were performing prior to the experiment. So I don't know if it was a combination of putting out more videos per week. Was it shaking up the content with different variety? Was it maybe better production? I don't know. But whatever happened worked in my favor. So I I absolutely have no regrets or complaints about doing this experiment. If anything, I feel it helped my channel. Now, the one thing I'm not going to take for granted is that this is going to be how it's going to be from here on out. I know that's not the case. I know I'm going to have lows again. And I know that content creating on YouTube is like a roller coaster ride. It's been like that from day one. It's always going to be like that. You have highs and lows. Some highs are higher or longer than others. Some lows are lower and longer than others. So you take the good with the bad. And regardless of what the outcome is going to be, I wasn't going to quit YouTube. I wasn't going to walk away. I was still going to continue to do this because I am passionate about it. But for the amount of time and effort I do invest in my videos, I feel I should be getting a certain number of views that makes it worthwhile for me to keep putting out what I'm doing, because I could really put out lazy content of not doing any research on anything, doing poor camera work, and just pumping my videos full of ads. That's the easy way out, and that's not the kind of person I am. So this experiment told me what you're doing is working, continue in this direction. So this is actually the final video of March Madness. We're here on a Monday. So what's going to happen after this? Well, let's discuss that next. Notice a spillway over here along the levee system. Got me curious to see what it actually is. Oh, it's a discharge area. I think those open up with the pressure from water. Would come down the spillway and right into the river. How you doing? Hi. Yeah, I need to come down here with an e-bike. Seems like a great trail to ride. And a great area to view the train going southbound or northbound. And this is the same line we've covered too on the other side of the river. This is the Gauntlet Bridge going over the Susquehanna River, and it goes near the old LV and Laurel Line bridges. And also another area that I just recently explored where the Norfolk Southern went over old LV and CNJ. I wonder if this bridge was wider at one time, or if there was something mounted up there. Just observing as we're walking by. So what's my plan going forth? Well, one thing I can tell you before I answer that question is that doing videos as often as I did for the month of March is a grueling task. People may not think it, especially if they've never filmed, edited, and published a video. You don't really know what is involved other than what someone may explain. But it's a time-consuming process. Each video, regardless of the length, takes more than a day to get done. And if you're lucky, you can get it done in a day, depending on how early you film. But, you know, typically a lot of my videos are over 30 minutes, although I have focused on a lot of videos under 30 minutes, which I also think was a key contributing factor to the response. I know time is limited, people lead busy lives, so I did try my best to focus on shorter videos, 30 minutes or less, with a few exceptions. Hospital video was just under an hour, but that was trimmed down from what I would normally have, which would be like about an hour and a half. And people said, I really like this trimmed down version. You know, as long as it's not repetitive footage, I'm willing to watch whatever length it is, as long as it's something that's going to keep me interested. So I cut out everything that would have been repetitive or boring or not exciting. So that was another, I think, key factor that just came to mind. But what I was getting back to is that it definitely affected me in ways I didn't expect. I had less time to keep in touch with people, like responding to the texts or emails or even Facebook messages. I had to basically prioritize time to handle those things because I was just going almost nonstop. You know, I was researching what I was going to do the night before, going out that day in the early morning or afternoon to film, transfer the footage, get some screenshots to edit, make my thumbnails, edit the video, upload it, and rinse and repeat over and over and over for the entire month. If I was fortunate enough to get a few videos backlogged, like if I filmed more than one in a day, it gave me a little bit of a buffer, but for the most part, I kept going almost nonstop and saved weekends for family and friends. So I managed it. It wasn't too much for me, but it's not something I'd want to sustain long term. So I will say I could see me doing that in spurts, but not as a full-time schedule. So going forth, starting with this week, this is going to be my final video of March Madness. The next video coming out will probably be Friday, which is going to be in April. I'm giving myself a few days downtime to kind of rest, recuperate, and just unwind a bit. But I already have a few videos done, starting with Friday. For the schedule, it's still going to be a Monday through Friday upload schedule, where it's only going to come out. I don't know if he's talking to me or talking to himself. He's got a bad lisp. Must have a Bluetooth. Videos will come out between Monday and Friday, like I've always had them. Wednesdays will still be What Is It Wednesdays when there are What Is It Wednesday videos. Tuesdays will be dedicated product reviews, and the other days will be my normal videos. My goal, and I'm not going to hold myself to because there are going to be things that are out of my control, but my goal is to put out 3 videos per week, at most 4. I think that's a reasonable amount, especially if I do get a few filmed within a short amount of time. So my plan is going to be just altering the current schedule through March Madness, taking it away 1 or 2 videos. And I think I could certainly hold true to 3 to 4 videos, but probably 3 for the most part. And if I do get like an abundance of videos, I'll bump up to 4, if 5, I should say 5 if necessary. So what will the content look like going forth? It's going to be pretty similar to what I've been doing through March Madness. It's going to be a 75-25 split, where 75% is going to be what my channel is known to be, adventure and exploring. And that means everything from abandoned explorations, Google finds, covert adventures, mines and mining history, railroads, railroad history, going for hikes in the woods to see what we find, e-bike, rail trail adventures, stuff like that. Stuff I've normally done, stuff I'll continue to do. The 25% though is going to be basically not those things. It'll be Knoebels videos, parks or fairs, traveling to different areas, maybe roadside finds. If I go down to the Parade of Steam, stuff like that. Even if I throw in another parade, or I'm going to be continuing the e-bike reviews, that's going to be the 25%, which means it's not going to be saturated on my channel. It's going to be mixed in from time to time, only a few times a month at most. So I think that this is going to be a good plan going forth, and I'm going to try my best to just kind of stay true to my word, keep doing what I've been doing, and I feel I have a solid plan in place, and this experiment was well worth the effort, and not even aggravation, just effort, I will say, to put into what I had to do through the entire month. I know there's channels out there that do put out videos 5 to 6 times a week. I give you guys props. That's a lot of work. Unless you have like a full-time team to film and edit and everything like that, it's a lot to do. It's a great undertaking. Before I wrap things up, I do want to give a huge, special, big thank you to all of you who helped make March Madness as successful as it was. It wouldn't have been a turning point for my channel if it wasn't for you guys who liked, watched, commented, and shared my videos. It means the world to me that you guys took the time out of your day to watch my content, and I'm sure many of you probably have a backlog of videos to catch up on. They're going to be there for the foreseeable future, so they're going to be able to be watched whenever you get time. But anyone who took time out of their day to watch any of those videos, or even all of them, I can't thank you enough. It truly means a lot, because I know competition is fierce and time is limited, but I know that I'm still doing what I love to do because of you guys. If you haven't done so, feel free to follow me on Facebook, because not only do I share early previews of my upcoming videos on YouTube, which come out a day before, but I do share a lot of content and videos that never make it to my YouTube channel. Specifically, I should say specifically, mostly train videos. If I do some rail fanning at a random moment, and I don't make a traditional video, those clips get uploaded to my Facebook page. And I actually just topped 20,000 followers on Facebook. So thank you to each and every one of you who have followed me on Facebook. That's a number that I didn't think I'd ever see, but I'm there, and I'm continuing to grow thanks to all of you who have shared and watched and liked and commented on my Facebook posts. So if you want to see some additional videos that you don't see on my channel, definitely follow me on Facebook. You'll find that link down below this video and every other video. And also, I'm gonna be coming out with some new merch by this summer related to more exploring and adventure type videos. So when that comes out, I will let you know, and you'll find the link to my merch shop down below. And also, if I have any updates regarding schedules or plans, typically they do come out on Facebook first before they do make a video about it or a community post on my channel. If I do happen to catch that train before I leave here, it will be right after this video ends, after the outro. Otherwise, it may have gotten delayed somewhere. So, as I say in all my videos, get out and explore your world. Thanks for watching, and like always, I'll see you in the next video.